Today we're making $1,000,000 spaghetti, and if you have not seen this viral spaghetti going around Instagram, you're missing out, but I'm going to show you how to make it. So if you don't know what $1,000,000 spaghetti is, imagine your favorite lasagna meets a hearty spaghetti with meat sauce meets Alfredo. It's all put together in one dish. It's baked, it's cheesy, it's garlicky, it's spaghetti-y. There's meat, there's tomato sauce, there's cream sauce. It's just unbelievable. And once you've had it, you will never eat regular spaghetti again. $1,000,000 spaghetti uses your typical spaghetti and Alfredo ingredients. You have ground beef, onion, garlic. My recipe does have a little bit of red bell pepper, cream cheese, and heavy whipping cream, some spaghetti noodles, and you have got $1,000,000 spaghetti. And honestly, if you want to make your own homemade marinara, knock yourself out. But I'm going to use a jarred marinara. It's just so much easier. And with all of the flavors and ingredients that are in this $1,000,000 spaghetti, I promise you are not going to notice the difference. So let me show you how easy it is to make $1,000,000 spaghetti. So to get started, I need half of a red bell pepper and half of a yellow onion. And I'm going to dice them both up pretty fine. So I have my peppers and my onions diced up pretty fine. I don't want any big chunks in my $1,000,000 spaghetti. So I'm going to divide the onions into two separate piles, one for the Alfredo layer and one for the marinara flavor. And in a skillet over medium heat, I'm going to put just a little dab of olive oil and 1/2 of my onions and all of my red bell peppers. And just cook them for a couple minutes until they start to get soft. To that, I'm going to add 1 pound of ground beef. I just want to make sure that my ground beef is fully cooked before I move on to the next step. So my ground beef is brown, it is fully cooked. I'm going to turn off the heat. And I want to drain all of the grease out of this meat because I'm going to use this pan to continue to make my sauce. So just want to get all of that out. In the meantime, I have a pot of boiling water. I'm going to add about 1/3 of a box of thin spaghetti into my boiling salted water. And I know this is a small pot, y'all. There is nothing I hate worse than waiting for a huge pot of water to boil. So I do this wrong every time. I know my husband always gets on to me. So I want to jump in the video here and invite you to join me live in my kitchen. And I'm going to show you exactly how to make one of my favorite lasagnas. It is called Golden Crusted Chicken and Asparagus Lasagna. And it is going to knock your socks off. It is one of my family's favorite meals. I've been making it for over 20 years and I want to show you how to make it. So in order to attend the live stream cooking class, you do have to reserve your spot. All the information and the details on the live cooking class can be found by simply clicking the link in the description box. I'll also pop it up right there. There you'll find all the information as well as the date and time for the live cooking class. And if you cannot attend the live event, no worries. If you reserve your seat, I'll send you the link to the live stream once it's over so you can go back and watch it at your convenience and as many times as you want to. So I'd love for you to join me live in my kitchen and I'll show you how to make one of my very favorite dishes. So my pasta is boiling. I have the grease drained from my meat mixture. Now I'm going to season the meat and add in my sauce. So I'm using a little bit of oregano. Just season this to taste. Honestly, I just eyeball everything because the marinara sauce I'm using really is seasoned really good by itself. A little bit of thyme. Don't need to overdo it. A dash of basil. Some onion powder. I'm going to put some freshly cracked black pepper in there. And a dab of salt. I'm going to add in an entire 24-ounce jar of my favorite marinara. And I'm going to bring this to a simmer and just let it cook away for 10 to 15 minutes so the flavors can meld together really nicely. My pasta is finished cooking. I'm going to drain it in a colander, and then I'm going to use this hot pot to make my Alfredo sauce. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter and the rest of my diced onions. And I'm going to cook that for a couple minutes and let my onions soften. All the while, my marinara sauce is over here just simmering away. So you need a block of cream cheese, and technically it's 4 tablespoons that you need. I'm just gonna eyeball it and call that maybe 4 tablespoons, like a little more than 1/3 of a block of cream cheese. So my onions are softening, and I'm gonna add in that block of cream cheese, and I just want to melt this down. So my cream cheese is pretty melted. It's incorporated with the butter and the onions, and I'm going to add in just a dash of basil, some minced garlic. Stir that around for about 1 minute just to cook your garlic slightly, and then add in a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Stir to combine. A dash of pepper, another little dash of salt, and a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to stir this around until it's smooth and silky. So here's where things get fun. This is all warm and melted. I can see my onion bits and my Parmesan cheese in there. And I'm going to add to this hot Alfredo sauce my drained spaghetti. Just make sure that you toss your spaghetti around really well so that it is all coated in the Alfredo sauce. This is the goodness layer. So into my 9x13 casserole dish, I'm going to take a stick of real butter and just pull back the paper a smidge, and I'm going to butter this pan really well. Sides and all. So now I want to take my Alfredo layer and drop it in the pan. Make sure that you scrape out all of the extra Alfredo sauce. Don't leave any behind. And kind of pull this around until it is evenly spread in the bottom of your dish. Then take your meat sauce and dump that on top. Spread that around. You see what I mean by once you get this all put together, everything just soaks up everything else, and it turns out to be not that much liquid. So doesn't that look good already? But we're not stopping here. So I'm going to top it with a mixture of different cheeses. I'm going to use mozzarella and Italian style cheese. You can totally use any cheese you want. Mozzarella, Parmesan, Italian style, fresh mozzarella. I'm just using what I have on hand, and I'm going to just lightly sprinkle the cheese on the top. So I'm going to do a handful of mozzarella. And I don't want to cover this like you would a traditional lasagna. You don't want that much cheese. Now I'm going to take a handful of Italian cheese and kind of fill in. Now I'm going to tightly cover this with aluminum foil. Pro tip, set your pan on top of a baking sheet so it's easier to handle. And I'm going to slide this in a preheated 350-degree oven, and I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes. So you're gonna bake your $1,000,000 spaghetti for a total of about 30 minutes. I like to cook it for the first 15 minutes covered in foil and then take off the foil and cook it for the remaining 15 minutes. This ensures that all of the spaghetti will get warm and bubbly and that the Italian cheese on the top is not going to burn. If you put it in the oven without the foil, I find that the cheese can get just a little bit too done on the top, and sometimes the internal temperature of the spaghetti is just not hot and bubbly. So that's why I like to do it half and half with foil and without foil. And then after 30 minutes, your $1,000,000 spaghetti is ready to go. Pull it out of the oven, but do not dig into it. You want to let it set and just kind of cool down for about 10 minutes. And I know it is so tempting, but trust me, let it cool down, let the flavors meld, let some of the heat come out of that spaghetti, and then you can dig right in. Get a huge scoop and put it on your plate. Serve this $1,000,000 spaghetti with a side salad, a Caesar salad, some crispy garlic bread. Oh my goodness, the possibilities are endless, and you should smell my house right now. It is absolutely amazing. You can thank me later. So thanks for joining me in the kitchen, you all, and I hope you enjoy my $1,000,000 spaghetti. See you later.